you doing?
I'm doing so great. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. It's a beautiful Friday. We're at Modern Herbal Apothecary. I want to thank you for being here. I know that we're here taking headshots for your new book that's coming out. And I'm also excited to be able to feature you on my new documentary show, Art and Healing, where I'm featuring different women entrepreneurs, healers, and artists to help elevate your story and uplift your beautiful journey of building the dreams of your life. And so I appreciate you for being here, and I would love to just kind of learn more about who you are. Tell us about what your background is and your business. Just give us a little bit of background on who Miss Akko is.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for having me, for helping me, all of those things. I'm abundantly grateful. I'm really happy to be here too. Really happy to be a part of this. My background, it's always an interesting question because it is truly a collage. It's so many different things, so many different spaces. I was raised the daughter of two military officers, two Army officers. So moving around, new experiences, meeting new people, learning new places was essential, and service was essential to my childhood and my upbringing. And that's kind of what inspired me to pursue some sort of like service career. And then when my mother was deployed in Iraq in 2011, somewhere around there, I had teachers who really helped nurture me and just help me through that time, saved my life, and that's not an understatement. And this was seventh, eighth grade, and I decided then and there that I was going to pay it forward in that way. There was nobody else in my life who I saw have such a direct impact on my life's trajectory, and I wanted to be that to somebody else. So seventh grade is when I decided I wanted to become a teacher, and I pursued that throughout high school. Started with maybe history I wanted to teach. I tutored here and there, and I fell in love with the sciences and physics. Went on to get my undergraduate's degree in physics education. It was a dual degree, which was not the easiest.
That's impressive.
Honestly, I picked it because I learned that there were only 9 Black women with doctoral degrees in physics at that time. And I was like, oh, I want to be one of those ladies. And then once I merged it with still wanted to be a teacher, all these things, I was like, okay, I don't need the PhD in physics, but I do know that I want to be an expert in this subject and how it can relate to all the different sciences and all different subjects in general. And so, yeah, that's how I ended up becoming a STEM educator. And I went to school at St. John's University in New York City, where anything that you want to do, you can find a community of people to help you do it. And so I started writing poetry and fell into the poetry community. I started writing scripts, learned a lot about the production community there, worked as a production assistant for a short period of time, took film classes at NYU, just anything I could do to immerse myself in, I guess, the story of how we got to where we are as people, as Americans, as Black people, as women, children, all of those things really inspired me. And bringing that into the classroom, because those experiences are really what drive education. Any type of experience is what solidifies and drives education. So yeah, I did all those things. I even worked as a farm manager in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Just went on a spree of investigating my own interests and bringing it back into the classroom whenever I could. And yeah, I ended up here. I don't even know. Like I said, it's such a collage that I don't know how. I can't follow one story. I can't tell one story. I can't follow one path of my life to say how I got right here. It's really like all of these different things have come to play.
That's beautiful. So can you tell us a little bit about like where you're at now? Because I know that you and I have talked about your book that's coming up and kind of you being in the education space. Can you tell us a little bit about what is the beautiful work that you do with children, the future generation of this world, and tie that into what you're doing with your book?
Absolutely. So I currently run a micro school, small 2 students right now. We're looking to expand to maybe about 8 students by next year, to give an alternate option for parents who the traditional classroom doesn't necessarily work for. The traditional classroom is really, really great for a lot of students, not every student, but every student should have access to really great education. So I'm in the space now where I'm working to bring that option to parents, to children, to find what works best for them. That might be micro school, it might be virtual school, it might be tutoring, which we offer as well at the Garden School. And then on my own personal journey, I'm constantly learning from all of these things, constantly growing and trying to apply it to my life, and that's where my book came into play. There were things I wanted to, there were patterns and generational curses and things that were happening generationally that I wanted to address, and the best way for me to do that was to write. So I just started writing a story that I would want to read that could teach me certain things, and that's where my debut novel came from, that whole space. Yeah, so they kind of, everything goes hand in hand. The things that I'm learning through teaching and through the experiences that I need to be a great teacher also teach me about myself and contribute to my expression of that. Yeah.
That's powerful. And what's the name of your book?
I can't say it yet,
Oh,
but I can say very, very soon we will be releasing the title and the cover and all those things. But it is coming out late summer, early fall of this year, and it does investigate a lot of concepts of family, tradition, especially here in Florida, and healing. That is the main, how we heal as families, communities, individuals, so on and so forth.
Wow, that's exciting. I'm excited for your book to come out because I know you've shared a little bit with me about it, and I feel like it's one of those things where it's going to like touch home.
Yeah.
In a beautiful way. So I'm excited that you were able to take that step forward to help tell your, like, a part of your story while also creating a book that helps other people connect with theirs as well.
Yeah, for sure. It is definitely a full circle moment. One of those projects I set out on 7 years ago and can finally wrap up. So it's cool.
7 years too. Like,
yeah.
a whole
Maybe
new.
not 7 years.
Yeah.
I guess 2020 is when I started. So 5 years.
Oh,
5 years ago.
great.
Yeah.
That's quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So can you tell me, you shared a little bit about the education space. So I know that you mentioned like where you're at and where you want to go. Mm-hmm. So can you just briefly tell me about what you do for children in for the Garden School, mm-hmm. and then how you want that to be able to apply to future endeavors, whether that's, I know you mentioned like policy and stuff like that. So if there's anything that you want to share on that front.
Absolutely.
I'd love to hear it.
So at the Garden School, we focus on, again, bringing alternative forms of education to students. So whether it's curriculum and providing resources and lesson plans to parents, homeschool parents, or teachers, programming at our local parks and recreation departments and things like that, or tutoring and offering direct instruction that way, in addition to our micro school. Right now, I'm wearing all of these hats. I'm program facilitator, I am tutor, I am lead teacher, I am, chief academic officer, all of these things at the Garden School. And in the future, I would really like to focus more on the systems, the policies, and designing those systems and policies. So training teachers, helping teachers, developing teachers, creating curriculum, creating policy, and working with other education experts to really figure out what is best for our students and continue that, because education, it cannot be stagnant. Each year we get a new group of students, a new group of issues that the world gives us that our students need to face, and we need to be adapting constantly to those things. So sitting in that space as a former educator, I think is really important, because there are a lot of people who do a lot of great work in policy who have never been in the classroom before, or who were not successful in the classroom, or who are out of touch with students because they no longer go back to those roots. And I kind of want to fill that space in the future.
That's powerful. That's powerful, especially knowing that with everything that you've gone through in your past and like how you're positioning yourself to be that solution for the future generation. You're helping to plant those seeds in those young children to show them what they can do with their life moving forward, what they need to learn, what things that they can like pursue from a holistic standpoint. So like with that being said, can you tell me the importance of, specifically as a Black woman, why is it important to you to be in this education space, and why is it important for that Black representation to be available for children to be able to see examples of themselves in the education space?
Yeah, I think that's really it right there. Number one is one of my favorite educators, Rita Pearson, said in her TED Talk, kids don't learn from people that they don't like. And I think the first step to not like having a child like you, because you can't control that, but showing up authentically in the classroom is making sure that you are in a space where you can be seen and students can see you. So that's, you don't need to, but it helps to look like your students. It helps to have shared experiences with your students, because that's what breaks those relationship barriers to build positive relationships in the classroom. And learning is a challenging thing. It is hard, it's scary, it's uncomfortable. So if if you can't form a relationship, then learning becomes that much harder. And there's a lot of great work that a lot of amazing educators do to build those relationships. For me, showing up as a Black woman in spaces where there are a lot of Black children just removes some of those barriers. Wow. It provides easier access. It provides more comfort, especially in our social climate in America. There are things that we cannot necessarily help right now. Hopefully in the future they are no longer there, and the work that we do today can take some of those barriers away. But when somebody looks like you, it just creates a safer space right off the bat. So that's why one of the reasons. Another place where I think a space that I feel is showing other teachers that the four walls of a classroom are not the only way that you can educate your students. We were talking earlier about how I'm exploring my own neurodivergency and how I'm learning that the classroom is not what's best for me as an individual, regardless of how great of a teacher I am or how much I can mask in the classroom. There are certain aspects of it that aren't okay. The noise is one of them. I don't necessarily do great with it. But here, if children were out here screaming, yelling, I'm fine, because, we're...
Makes a big difference.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. Movement in a classroom, I'm worried about safety. I'm worried about all of these things. So if a child is running in the classroom, I'm like, and it causes anxiety for me. But out here, I know that children need to run. I know children need to move. So when we're not in the four walls of a classroom, when we're not in that traditional setting, it is easier for me to allow them to do that and do what they need to do and meet them where they are to get them where we're trying to go, right? So showing teachers that being in a traditional classroom, being in a traditional school is not the only option. You can make your career look like what you want it to look like, just like we're trying to inspire our youth to make their lives look how they want it to look. We don't have to put ourselves in these boxes. Your classroom can look like whatever you want it to look like, whether it's in a school or whether it's not. And both places are important. So I think that I represent that. I've taught from a farm before. I've taught from virtual. I've taught in every space that you could imagine. And each one of them has pros and cons. And each one of them works for me, where some of them work and some of them don't. So yeah, that's another way.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And I love that you're able to explore different ways to be able to teach children, because just as much as you feel that, I'm sure the children feel that too.
Yeah.
The difference of being in a four-walled classroom and you're seeing the fluorescent lights all day.
Yeah,
being
exactly.
able to be out in the sun, get your hands dirty, be out and about. So I'm sure that experience translates to the children as well, to have an experience that's beyond just the typical classroom that you go into.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's really something when a student walks up to you and is like, "Hey, Miss Akko, are you overstimulated today?" And I'm just like, "Yes, yes, I am." You know what I mean? Yeah, and it's cool to be able to have taught in those spaces, so I could learn that about myself, and now be in the position to move forward with that information in a better direction.
I love that.
Yeah.
So is there anything else that you'd like to share about your career, your services, your book, before we wrap it up?
Our end goal at the garden school would be to contribute to the development of ethnosystems and reestablishing education as a community center, a trustworthy community center, a reliable community center in our neighborhoods. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100% makes sense. And it's cool because it's like you're in the space now and you're already thinking of how does this apply to the future? How does this apply to the bigger picture?
Yeah.
So for you to be thinking of how can you be a part of the solution and helping to make the system work better for like your community. It's beautiful that you're positioning the garden school to be able to do that.
Yeah.
We need more of that. We need more systems that work for our benefit, especially as Black people. So I love that you're doing that, and I love that you're sharing your story and sharing your light when it comes to the importance of this.
Yeah.
Because the more people who know this, the more they'll know, oh, there's other options. There's other solutions out there. I can be part of the solution. I don't have to do the same traditional path that may be like current. But to know that schools are such a key part of the community and you get to be a part of helping to set the tone for the future is a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
so I appreciate you for sharing that.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
So what I want parents to know is that they have options when it comes to education. And when you're choosing how to educate your child, the focus should be on your child and your family, what works for your child and your family. There are alternative forms of education outside of traditional public school classrooms where, you know, your baby has to wake up at 6:30, be at school by 7, you know, and then you have to find childcare from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. when you get off work, all of these things. There are other options for you, and the garden school is not only an option, but also can connect you to other options there as well. The relationships that we have with different organizations in Tampa and in the nationwide, because like I said, sometimes the traditional school just doesn't work for a specific child. It is great. I will stand by the public school system and I'll stand by the work that public school teachers are doing. It is great for the students that it works for. It is really not great for the students that it doesn't work for. And parents, you do not have to struggle through that. You do not have to subject your child to that. And think about, there's a phrase that says, all experience is education, but all experiences are not equally educational. So your child is experiencing and learning a lot from their public schools that's not working for them. What are they learning? And is that what you want your child to grow up with understanding? Are they learning that they will be supported, that they can find support for the things that they need? Are they learning to advocate for themselves? Are they learning to hold themselves to a high standard and that they have support to reach those goals for themselves? Or are they learning that they are too much? Are they learning that there's not enough help? Are they learning that their voice doesn't matter? And that's just what it is. So what do you want your child to actually learn from their education experience? And you have options to put them in the situation to learn what they should.
I love that, Ms. Akko. That was really well said, because it lets you know as a parent that you have the ability to choose what's best for your child, especially in the education space. Like now more than ever, there's more options for you to choose from as a parent, and to know that there's an alternative option such as the garden school that parents can turn to. It's beautiful that you get to create that solution that parents are probably looking for.
Right.
Like you said, there's, you know, you don't want your child going through an experience that's going to set them back in the future. That's going to be part of like the trauma or what, however, you know, it may turn out. But just having an option that empowers them and uplifts them as children will set the tone for them when they become adults.
Right, exactly. And Florida is the best place to exercise your choice as a parent. It was ranked #1 for parent choice initiatives by US Weekly or Education Weekly or something like that. Some education platform ranked Florida #1 for parent choice because there are so many options for financial support. There are so many options there are so many organizations like the Garden School, which is, yes, we offer really awesome initiatives for a specific type of child, right? But there are a lot of other options here too, and there's a lot of support from the state to exercise that choice.
I love that. So if that's everything that you wanted to share, I actually have a little something for you.
Girl, what?
And so I see, one, by getting to know you over the past few years, I know that you're a very intentional person. You're someone who wants to do good in your community, and you love to be that positive example for people who want to be the solution. And so I just want to say, one, I'm really proud of you because I've seen your growth over the past few years.
That means so much. I'm actually tearing up.
You're welcome. Yeah, and I mean it because I know that it takes a lot to go after your dreams and to believe in something that sometimes, especially in today's world, it can be a little challenging. There's a lot of resistance in the work that you're doing. So I just want to say that you're very powerful in the intentions that you're setting, and the fact that you're the fact that you're being that solution for children, and they're the future generation. They'll one day be the parents and the adults of this world making the decisions for this world.
Yeah.
It's beautiful that you're doing this work. And so I just want to applaud you on that. And keep doing the beautiful work that you're doing. And with that, I also wanted to share. So I have wellness art prints that are centered around uplifting women's stories and uplifting you on your healing journey. And so with all the work that you're doing, I thought that this art print would be very aligned with you. So I just wanted to gift it to you.
Thank you so much. This is beautiful.
You're welcome.
Wow, I know exactly where I'm going to put this. Thank you so much.
Of course. You're welcome. And the reason why I chose that is because it says believe in the power of your intentions. And with the work that you're doing, you're putting such intentional energy into the garden school. I'm just going to, you have a white hair on your nose.
You're good.
Do you have a cat?
I do.
Okay. That looks like a cat hair. But yeah, it's like I see you putting intentional energy into the garden school, and I've seen you in the midst of your work when you're working, especially in the home setting. And I see how much of a difference it makes for the children if you feel seen and heard. So I just want to really say I'm really impressed and inspired by you because I know it takes a lot to work in that education space and work with children. So keep doing the beautiful work. Believe in the power of your intentions because you're part of that solution that we need in this world.
Beautiful.
So,
and I love the color. I love the aura. This is beautiful, and thank you so much.
You're welcome. I love that you said aura because that's exactly like my inspiration. Is like
I can see it.
If you could look at auras of people or like of life and what those colors would look like, that's what inspires me.
Yeah, this is absolutely beautiful.
Thanks. You too. The whole point of this is just be able to have fun.
Yeah,
and I love being able to be able to tell your story. So I appreciate you for trusting me to be in this space and helping to tell your story and helping to be a part of such a pivotal moment where you're about to launch your new book and you're launching the next phase of your business. So 2025 is going to be a beautiful year for you.
It sure is. There was nobody. As soon as my publisher was like, you need to market, I was like, okay, I know exactly who I'm going to reach out to. And even before then, I was looking forward to when the stars aligned for us to work together. And I'm very, very grateful to be a member of your community and to, again, also to watch to be a part of your story as well, because the work that you do is very important. It's so important for women. It's so important for people to see what we are doing, what all of us are doing, and to capture the stories, to make us feel safe, to help us feel safe, see our space in the greater story. And like, that's awesome. That's what you have done for me, and I'm really appreciative of that.
Thank you. That warmed my heart. Thank you, Miss Akko. Well, thank you again for this beautiful conversation. I really appreciate you. And now we get to go film a little bit of a stock video content so that you can have some content for your social media as you prepare for your launch. So I appreciate it.
I keep looking down. I had sunburn on my nose, so I keep looking down thinking I like see a piece of skin.
I know exactly how that is. But yeah, I just appreciate you for sitting down for this conversation, and let's go create some content.
Let's go. Thank you for having me.
Of course. You're welcome.
Okay.